miss the flowers in the vase that you bought today.
Some of the best harmonizing you'll find anywhere in music. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, 8:02 the time. It's the Mornings with Ed show, midweek edition. It's a Wednesday. Welcome to the program. Broadcasting live across the globe from the absolutely beautiful community of Laguna Beach. If you're a resident of Laguna Beach and you've been paying any attention whatsoever the last 4, 5, 6 years now, you know the story. We will give you a little quick update on the story itself and those involved, and then get into the conversation. Mo Honarkar, shortly after moving to the United States from Iran in the mid-1980s, started this small business of selling wireless cell phones. He built the cell phone business, which ultimately became known as 4G. He built that into a highly successful enterprise that included 160 stores in 5 states. He currently owns 100% of 4G, though he sold the cell phone business assets of 4G to Verizon Wireless back in 2016. And with the proceeds from that sale of the cell phone business, he started amassing a real estate portfolio, and properties were purchased both in his name and through 4G, and they were held by various limited liability companies. And over time, he developed that portfolio into an operation worth several hundreds of millions of dollars, with properties ranging from everything from large hotels to commercial real estate to individual homes that were used as luxury vacation rentals. A lot of them located here in Laguna Beach or Palm Desert and the surrounding areas. A few years back, in trying to secure a loan to pay his ex-wife in a one-time payment for their divorce, he sought out a joint venture with a company. The company was Continuum, and Mahendra Makhijani of Continuum Analytics, together with Nanobank, fraudulently induced Mr. Honarkar to enter into that agreement. And just recently, the evidentiary hearing to split that company up, to get his money back, to take back his properties, was held, and Mr. Honarkar was awarded many things. We will talk about what exactly he won in the court case now, but we welcome in for the conversation Mo Honarkar. Good morning, Mr. Honarkar. How are you today?
Good morning.
Did I explain everything fairly well?
You're perfect.
Okay.
This is Mo Honarkar. I appreciate your invite and glad to be here. Good morning, everyone. And yes, it is right on it.
Okay.
I guess my story is everywhere. And the reason I actually keep communicating with you guys is for those business people that don't know what can happen to you bringing a JV partner,
Right.
and letting somebody be a signer of your company. That's all this happened because I didn't have a good knowledge.
Right.
And that lack of knowledge brought me here. There are a bunch of predators out there. Be careful. Before you sign anything, make sure your attorney knows. So with that in mind, I'm here. I'm having a lot of good news for you guys.
Good.
And Ed and I are going to be able to explain where we stand.
Okay, well, thank you for that. And in taking out the loan, you had previously done business with an organization called Nanobank, and you had a contact at Nanobank, Anthony Graysack, that put this joint venture together with Continuum and Mahendra Makhijani, but you knew nothing about them, correct?
Correct. Nanobank is the bank that I did merchant banking with all the properties and running businesses that we had at the time.
Right.
I knew the CEO of the bank. I was also doing some Jimmy John sandwich shops and all over, a franchisee, and he also was a franchisee. That's how we know each other. And he started this bank. I started to do a business with the bank, and it happened to be that at the time I got Hotel Laguna, and before I even signed the ground lease for Hotel Laguna, I contacted him and had him to come in for financing the project because it's a big project. I wanted to rebuild, and and get the hotel back to the community. So that's how everything started with NanoBank. I trusted him. And as we are trying to get this off the ground, COVID happened, as you know, all the stories we know. Well, anyhow, he introduced me with a bunch of shareholders of the bank. And one of them is Mahendra Mahagajani, which he, by the way, he doesn't keep the share under his own name. It's under his business partner. It's called Diba Shayan. And then Andrew Stupin, Marcel, Jerry Marcel, Malik. I mean, they're a gang. They work together. This is how their business is run. So that's how I got introduced to them. Unfortunately, I didn't do my homework on them to know who they are because it was a warm welcome with the NanoBank being involved, being actually every documents I signed was at NanoBank. So it wasn't fishy to me because it's NanoBank it's involved.
Right. And essentially what you were doing was signing away your property rights to the mob, basically.
Well, I needed to refinance my portfolio because of the divorce, and the receiver didn't renew my portfolio of finance with Loan Corp. So now I did get rid of the receiver, and I needed to get that refinanced. I went to NanoBank. They said, yeah, we can refinance it. They gave me a letter of intent for $150 million, no problem. And they said, hey, we need to bring a couple people, a couple other banks involved. That's how the big bank works. They don't.
It's not all at once.
All at once.
Right.
They syndicate.
Right. It was
sort of.
Right. The Loan Corp loan was originally $195 million.
Well, I paid it down before that. The balance was $136 million.
Okay.
Yeah, you see it on the news, 195.
Right.
That was the original loan.
Okay.
So at the time it was 136. But anyhow, they said no problem. So I was basically wasting time waiting for this $150 million to show up until couple days before, as you know, DIG in town got a hold of this loan, and they bought it from Loan Corp. They put me on default, which I'm very upset of what Chris did, but he's a history now. So here you go, more pressure to get this done. In this group, they knew I am in rush to pay the ex-wife, to refinance, and they said, okay, in order to sign the documents of loan, because you have this situation going on, DIG puts you on a default. The loan was never default, by the way. It was all court, and we paid the payments always on time, and it was the fact that there was it was due, and that was the issue. But when Chris purchased it, Mr. DIG, he put me on default. And 30 days notice. So what do you want to do? You gotta save your properties. But I didn't know I'm signed up with the predator, and that's what's going to happen. So basically they said, well, let us be assigned on LLCs, and in return we're going to be your partner with 5 different projects that I want to do, which happened to be one of them is Hotel Laguna. I agree with it, and had no idea they know through the same bank, NanoBank, all my business. They went and borrow out of my own property.
They borrowed against your properties without having the rights to do so.
Exactly. And basically they show up on the closing time with the money. How do I know? And they show the money comes from their bank account to the escrow. So I had no knowledge of what's going on.
Giving you your own money.
Exactly. So basically they frauded me. So as we all know, I filed a complaint, and we went to a state court. The state court said this is an arbitration case, and send us to arbitration. It's a binding arbitration. This is all part of the agreement they put me through.
And they fought to
go
to
the one they put me through all that. Otherwise, I'd rather to stay in the state court and have jury. But at this time, I had no idea what's going to happen. So we went to arbitration. We signed up with JAM. And that arbitration started last August, July-August time frame. It was 3 weeks every day. I mean, this is what's very serious. And, right after arbitration, they find out it was very clear that they losing the case because all their witnesses they brought in not credible. They lied after lie. They got stuck on the line.
Right.
And they created document while we were on arbitration. They frauded the arbitrator with some document which I've never seen in my life, by the way.
Right.
So they knew they're going to lose this case. But, the legal system in this country is very slow. It works eventually.
Right.
But the predators, they know this. They know the timing of what things going to work.
And
right?
they try and take advantage
so
of
as
that.
soon as the arbitration was completed, they stopped paying the mortgages. I had no idea this is going on.
Right.
They stopped paying the ground lease payments. I mean, they pocketing all the money out of the hotel, out of the beach club, out of the vacation rental, all their pocket, not paying the banks.
Right.
So creating this mess with the banks, and they put an NOD, notice of default, so they file bankruptcy. And not only, I'm in the tail end of finishing the arbitration, now I have to deal with the bankruptcy, which is in Delaware because all this LLCs is made the Delaware LLC.
Right.
So
You just took a trip and you just came back yesterday from Delaware. What was that trip for? What was accomplished in that trip?
Yes. So basically, they working two different branch of judicial and the separate. So on the bankruptcy side, they're forcing to be finished and sell all the property. They brought in the new gentleman who is interim CEO reorganization from a very reputable company called FTI.
This is a third party.
Third party.
Okay.
Supposedly, but unfortunately, this third party was hired by Mahendra Mahgajani. He's not as fair to me. He's more fair to him. But let's put that aside. He said my business plan is to sell all these properties. He said something you don't own, you can't sell.
Right.
And if you sell, all going to be reversed. Why are you doing this? These are all, the award that I have, by the way, let's talk about that. So the award I have two options.
Okay.
Resist a contract, that means it goes everything back to day before I sign up with them, correct? Or get my damages. But then in that case, I have to stay partner with them, which that's a big no for me.
Right.
And my family.
I understand
We
that,
already
yeah.
made that very clear. So in order for me to elect to resist the contract, we need an accounting because we have no idea how much money is borrowed from people.
Right.
We know for the fact that he has done it before. He can borrow money without recording. And in the state of California, that's valid.
Right.
So you can show up someday and say, hey, you owe me $20 million. I say, how?
Right. Show me the proof.
Here's the
right.
document.
Right.
It wasn't recorded. Well, it doesn't need to be recorded. It's a flaw in law.
Okay.
But whatever it is, so I have to making sure. So arbitrator awarded me $9 million and change for my legal fee,
Okay.
and also asked for accounting so he can come up with damages. Damages could be in north of $200 million. We don't know. I don't want to be exact number, but
Right.
Until we do the accounting. So he knows I need to do this accounting. So he runs to the bankruptcy trying to sell things and run away.
Right.
Because he owns over $1 billion of real estate, but his name is not on any of that. Because this is the type of people they are. They're racketeering. They have people they pay on payroll
Right.
to be the signer on the LLCs. They call a manager. So manager can do anything they want, but they control them.
Right.
So they change it. As we saw a few months ago, one of the manager, which is Ben Haddad,
Right.
and in fact, he was manager on my apartments in Redlands called Tesoro.
Right.
He was the manager here in Hotel Laguna LLC, and he was doing the money laundry. I saw it with my own eyes the day that I went back there trying to take the possession. He was there. He broke into this office. He took the safe and took all this cash, put it in his backpack, and take it out of there. It's just bizarre what I'm dealing with.
He ended up going to jail.
Yes,
with a
that's
$10
the money
million
laundry
bail.
they do.
Right.
There's a
Right.
business they do. Is I am so shocked that government has come in to check all of them.
Right.
This is bad news. I got hurt by them,
Right.
and I'm not a quitter. I will take this to any legal system that I can
Right.
to stop this. This gotta stop. This kind of transactional, and they keep putting things on different LLC. Well, you can't touch the LLC. Why can't I touch the LLC? His other partner is Andrew Stupin.
Right.
He's the one who goes around the town, tell everybody that he owns Hotel Laguna.
Right.
I don't know how he says that, but he does. Now, you and I can bet on that. Tomorrow I have my judgment. If I go after him, he's going to say, I'm nobody.
Right.
Oh,
I was never a part of it.
That's
Right.
how they are.
Right.
They just change, depend on the day. Manager of LLC keep changing. Every day there's somebody else. This guy is the manager today.
Right.
Or they go online, change the information that the state has on LLCs. They just change it, put somebody else's name.
Right.
It's so easy to do. All these things, I had no idea you can do all these things.
Right.
It's just so bizarre. I mean, honestly, you have to hold your hat very, very strong because they can take your hat away. That's the type of people I'm dealing with. It's bad. And then the latest is, yesterday, as you asked me, they go to a bankruptcy court and tell the judge, Honarkar cannot go around the town and say, I own these properties. I'm looking on them and say, oh my God.
Right.
You're telling me you stole my property and you don't want me to tell people?
And they lost to an arbitrator. They lost in arbitration the fact that they own the properties.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's a binding arbitration. It's
Right.
not just a normal arbitration.
Right.
This case is done. And then they went back again just to slow because I have to take the case now. In order to collect my $9 million,
Right.
I have to go to a state court, get this certified. So what they do, they keep filing different things to slow down
Right.
at the bankruptcy court. Now I have to go back. So yesterday I had to go get a permission from bankruptcy court so I can take my case now back to the state court, get it certified.
Right.
And that's how they do it. They just delay one side, the
Right.
state court side,
Right.
and then bankruptcy, they just pushing. So they are stuck between two judicial system, basically.
So let me ask you specifically about some properties here. We know that the properties involved are Terra, the Hive, the Artifair, Hotel Laguna, which you mentioned, the hotel over on Clio, as well as the Redlands apartment complex. These are all properties that were involved in this case. Hotel Laguna, who's managing that now? And is it something that you even want back? Are you able? Does it have any value? Will Hotel Laguna ever be completed? First of all, and is that property up for auction from the courts?
Well, all my properties, because this guy is without any permission,
Right.
they doing that. They've listed all the properties with value that less than what I bought it for.
Right.
Just to damage me further.
Right,
You know,
of course.
all this becoming the damages that I'm going to be after them to collect.
Right.
They think, is a short-sighted, they lost the case, they're
Right.
doing all these things just to damage me further. But they're really damaging themselves further.
Right.
This is, after I finished up, I sent a text to this gentleman man there. I said, you know what, you have more to lose. You lose your own bank, Nano Bank, is,
Right.
because you're damaging them. All these partners that you brought in to give you money, all this, let's finish this. I don't want to go through all these things. But I'm dealing with the criminals.
Right.
The reason I'm saying, in my opinion, criminals is proven.
Right.
Okay, my case calls it code 496. That is what it is. He cannot
Fraud.
get away from
Fraud.
it.
He can't.
That is a fraud. This
Right.
is a fraud that has been proven is a fraud. So if I've been this guy's and his business partners or investors, by the way, he has also a company called Mom CAAS, or there are three of them, investors. He even filed bankruptcy for that. And then the same people that they file bankruptcy, they come into the bankruptcy court and say, oh, we want to put some money on this business, as they call debtor in possession, deep financing for the company. It's just, whatever they do, it doesn't make sense. You file bankruptcy, you don't have money, and then you go in here, you want to put money in. It doesn't make sense. So they lost that case. I was able to get them to dismiss that case. Court
Right.
did it. Terra Laguna, they don't own Terra Laguna. It was proven this is not even being part of the partnership. So, and they're not releasing it. They just muscling with me.
So the 4G offices that they broke into, harassed the employees at at it, and then they stole files and computers and stuff. Is that part of this as well?
Yeah, that is.
Okay.
It says, if you read the
Right.
words, all that was wrong.
Will you ever see those computers again? Will you
I
ever?
have no idea. I haven't been there. My attorney went in once,
Right.
and he has seen some stuff. They have not released the building, unfortunately, yet. They're waiting for a state court. But, again, that comes in. If my own town police force in here would protected me, would arrest these criminals, put them in jail, none of this would happen. Unfortunately, they listened to Phil Kahn, previous attorney for the city. He gave them bad advice, and, they opened themselves for liability right now because taking over Hotel Laguna was wrong. 14 West was wrong. Taking over my offices is wrong. So they actually protected these people. This is so bizarre.
I remember when that happened and I'll ask you first when that happened, they said that it was the responsibility of the county and the sheriffs to protect you. But that doesn't appear to be the case, according to you. Will we be seeing lawsuits against Laguna Beach, the city of Laguna Beach, or Phil Cohn, or any individuals from the city of Laguna Beach for any reason? And has anyone from the city reached out to apologize to you?
Unfortunately, at this time, I don't want to talk about this. This is a liability that I have to deal with.
Okay.
I love this town. I want to get these properties back. I want to. Hotel Laguna, we're supposed to be open on the rooms. Hotel is actually, the restaurants are open. A scheduled opening was on September 2023.
Right.
So just think about how much bed tax this city has lost for individual mistake. A mistake of an attorney cost this city millions of dollars. Just to know, it's not me only have claim against this. They should be, the city should have a claim against this. But, at this time, talk is cheap. The process is underway. So where I'm waiting right now to go state court next week, file for judgment so I can get my award for legal fee. Honestly, I spent more than that. Unfortunately, $9 million is all I got. And next step is I'm at bankruptcy court. One thing good about it, they followed it. They trying to damage me. But actually what worked well is, in bankruptcy, everything goes fast, correct? So the judge agreed to do the accounting at the bankruptcy instead of sending back to state court. So we can get this accounting done with a couple months. It doesn't take. It's not a rocket science.
And who's going to be doing the forensic accounting?
We hire a third party. Has to be totally independent.
No involvement with Makajani?
Shouldn't be any involvement. So we want to make sure that happens. The judge want to make sure it's independent. And the bankruptcy judge have a lot of power. Because all along this 4 years with Mahan there, he doesn't give you a document. He hides document. And then they create their own document version, which is a fake. So we can't rely on their accounting. They don't even have. They point blank, they're saying, we don't have accounting. How could you run a business of multi-billion dollars, have no accounting? Well, that's what it is. They take over any property they take over. The first thing they do, they don't pay property tax. They just don't pay. And then after 4 or 5 years, they go and so they use that cash for creating other businesses, and they're raping off the state and the county. This has got to stop. If the county people go research all the properties these people manage and what they have done, that is so alarming.
The business itself of Continuum Analytics is to take over distressed businesses and essentially operate as parasites or vultures. They pick at the bones of these businesses. They gut the money. They gut it. They pocket it, and then move on. File bankruptcy on it and move on to not pay that bill. That's what happened to you and your properties, you're saying?
Read about Kaleidoscope. They got the money, and we know how they got the money. Another lawsuit just like mine is another gentleman that I know, actually. So they borrowed $37 million from Nanobank on his property. Can you believe that? While they're in a lawsuit. And then they buy this building, Kaleidoscope, same 9 guys, Mahan there and Andrew Stoop and all these people. They come up together, they buy this building. I was happy for them. Okay, you bought a building, that's good. But today it was on the news, the worst managed property right now. Tenants are walking away saying nobody fixed anything. It's destroyed. Okay? So they create the stress. This is how they are. They create the stress, and now saying Another good example. Tesoro Apartments that I own, it was always 98% to 100% full. It's
Apartment
188 units. It was running by Graystar.
In Redlands.
Yes.
Okay.
They took over the management. Okay. They brought it down to 80%. Okay, occupancy.
Right.
They don't take care of it. And then they say the value is not what it was before. Well, you created that. Right. You created the stress. Now you want to go sell this property half the price because of is not leased right.
Right.
That's not my fault. That's what you did. That's the crime that you did to my property, and you're gonna pay for this. I'm not gonna stop in here. I'm gonna make sure these people cannot do business in this country anymore. He can go back to India and do business there, wherever he wants to go, but not in this country. There is a law in here, and law needs to step in. And I've been trying to get, as you know, district attorney involved. He keeps saying this is part of the bank fraud. Yes, portion of it is a bank fraud. He's right, but the rest is not. But anyhow, those are all my issue, my problems.
Right. Well, the district attorney has his own problems to deal with right now.
Exactly. I think. But all I want, get the hotel back, get the rooms completed so we can get this building back to normal. I have other projects in town I want to get it done. And hopefully we bring life back to Laguna again, especially downtown.
So I'm going to fishtail two questions off of what you just said. Let's talk about Hotel Laguna. Is that property, as it is right now, even worth the time and the money that it needed to make it what you once dreamed that it could be?
It's a trophy building of the town, over 100 years old, correct? And we all know how important Laguna, everything is downtown, correct?
Right, right.
We got to get this downtown back alive again. In order to do that, this is one of the assets causing slowness in downtown. I talked to different businesses around the hotel. They all keep telling me, well, since this hotel is not doing business, it's not enough traffic in here.
Right.
So my goal is to get this back again live, get it be operational to help the downtown business and also our community.
In your best case scenario, as you put your head on your pillow at night and are about to sleep, in the best possible circumstances, how long before you feel that you're ready to show off your crown jewel, Hotel Laguna?
Well, I think I have still another 2 to 3 months to get the counting down, and so I can elect recession. Under my contract. It says recession, so I will do that once I have a counting, because we don't know. For example, they go in, they have another company called Cantor.
Okay. They
go in, file a lien against a property under that name. Okay.
Right.
There's no loan. There was no loan ever. Like in Hotel Laguna, there was a $10 million Cantor added to existing loan. So where that came from, we don't know. And then they go to the bank, refinance this, say, oh, we got to pay Cantor. Right. And the bank doesn't know this is not legit. So as a result, they have all these loans going on. So I cannot get out of these loans until the accounting is done. Some could be accurate. Some could be some money that came out. I'm not saying all of them is fraud, but I would say 80% of them is fraud. But we would know. As soon as the accounting comes in, that would do. And then once we get that clear up, the day I get the key back and being able to step in and start the construction, obviously I have to update the permits with the city. Right. We already had the rooms permits. We were so close to get the outside of it completed. And they went in ahead, didn't use my plan. They created another plan, and they got stuck with the Coastal Commission. Right. So all that I have to get it clear. As far as interior and get it done, I need 9 months.
Okay.
So we'd say next summer, hopefully we got this hotel back and beautiful, and we're going to do a biggest block party anybody can throw out, and hopefully you come in over there and help us and
I'd be
get
honored.
this
I'd be honored.
Live again.
I'd be honored to do that. And the steps you're taking with Hotel Laguna are the same steps that you're taking with the Hive and Terra and the other properties that they've seized?
Honestly, I'm a man of integrity. Right. That's why originally I hired Mark Orgil to help us for the city. Right. That was, it's all I wanted him to do, making sure everything we do is permitted, maybe making sure everything is correct. And that's going to be continue the same. We want to make sure all the permits are live, everything community see that, because we are in a fishbowl. We're in a 1 mile radius of downtown
Right.
with all these properties. We want to get them all back again on track. I'm very excited to get it done.
Okay.
And last 2 years, unfortunately, I couldn't build anything. Everything is stuck.
Right.
How much damages I went through. Just think about all the damage. I don't know how people are going to reimburse me with all my damages. It's direct damage is what they did. Indirect is they prevented me like being on my building for 2 years. The line that Mo had gone. When is I ever had gone?
Right.
So all these things just backfired them because they couldn't prove at the arbitration none of this.
Right.
So now they lost the case. Okay, they're rushing to do a bankruptcy. They think I'm going to be scared there. No, I'm not scared. I will fight through it. Get all my properties back legally, correct. Nothing like what they did to me.
You mentioned the district attorney and his unwillingness or inability to act. Is this something that maybe the state attorney general should look at? And have you contacted him?
I thought about that, to be honest with you. Talked to my counsel. At this time, we're so close to get this certified by a state. Once we certify by a state, I'm sure the state have people to go. I'm just leave it right in here.
Right.
But my job is going to be done as soon as I get this to a state.
Okay. All right. So you just got back from Delaware. Where do you see yourself in the next couple of months? And where will this case be 3 years from now? Will it be over and you have your properties back?
I think by September, October, the case is over. We're completed. And we make the decision for the properties, take the properties back at that time, and do the accounting. If I owe them money, I'm more than happy to write them a check.
Right.
And they owe me money, they better write and don't run away.
Right.
And I don't even know which one of them I got to go after. That's going to be another situation because of all these corporate levels they put in, different people signing documents. For example, Andrew Stupin has a company called Coastline.
Okay.
It's a finance company. He has $575 million loan note on all my properties encumbered. And I keep asking him, why don't you remove this? Well, I did that to protect this asset against your X5. I said, did that help you? No. She actually went back and she got her money, correct? Right. Why don't you remove it? Well, every time he has excuse, okay?
Right.
So $175 million fraud sitting still on this. And now, if I go after him for that, the next day, I have nothing to do with this. This is how these people are. They operate this way.
There's a street game where street vendors hide a peanut under a peanut shells, and then they move it on the table, the three-card Monty, and that's what this appears to be.
Absolutely. That's how this Ponzi business is doing, unfortunately. It's bad. I've seen the way they do money laundering. It's crazy. And I don't understand how they've been able to operate without getting some authority to show up at the door and say, hey, what are you doing?
Well, thank you, first of all, for the warning to other businessmen and honest business people to not get involved in this kind of way with these kinds of companies, to do their due diligence, to run it past their attorney before they do. That's important. And thank you for showing the patience that you have these last several years. Other people would have just thrown up their hands and gone, you know what, screw that community. I'm done with trying to improve anything, trying to build stuff. But you didn't. You love this community and you intend to continue. So thank you for that.
I appreciate my town. I appreciate patience of residents of Laguna Beach. I apologize for all this happened. It was honestly, if I knew anything close to this, I would never ever bring these people in.
Right.
And I'm hoping that soon we put this away, out of here, and get our town back together.
All right. Well, we thank you for taking the time with us today. And please, when there are developments, please come back and share these developments with us.
I sure will. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Mo Honarkar, 8:36 the time. It's the Mornings with Ed show on the all-new Voice of Laguna.